One mini world, one creation dream.
But it's green light, red light, okay? So for those that have played already or see the show about Squid Games, probably you have realized about this game, okay? Let me show you how it works. Let me show you which game we are talking about. And to be honest, this is an easy to do game, but very important, guys, this is a big but. It's going to be I'm going to delete this, okay? Because I already got it right here. And also I'm going to delete the bridge. It's kind of tricky to do it right, okay? Because it's easy to do, but on this game there is something that you need to be aware of, and is that mini work has some latency, okay? What does it mean, latency, okay? Means that whenever your player stops here in his computer, the game is going to take some seconds to actually stop his character, okay? And what happened with that is that this is completely increased when we are playing in multiplayer, okay? So the error that you are going to see on most of the green light, blue light, if I move in red light, what happened is that I'm going to die, is that when the players stop moving in his computer, the server or the mini game is going to take some time to do that order, and most possible is that the player is going to die even knowing that he's not moving in his end, okay? This is kind of difficult to understand, but the internet takes a lot of time to actually receive that order and stop the player moving. So to do it in the right way, it has to be a little bit tricky. You have to give some extra time after the light becomes red for the players to be able to move a little bit more. And also you have to as soon as the green light is on, turn off that option, okay? So let me show you once more on here. Let me move in red light. You are going to see that in red light I will be able to move a little bit for like 1 second more, okay? And that's very important. For 1 second only you will be able to move. Check this. Check, as you see, I was moving a little bit more even when the red light was on, okay? And let me take this. I'm running. And as you see, I was able to move a little bit even with the red light. And that's what we are going to do. So as always, my advice is to construct a scenario. In this scenario, I put the green glass lamp as the light number 1 and the red one as the light number 2. Something very important here is that all the lights are going to be in the altitude of the player. That means players are going to check in forward of distance, okay? So, because if you do something like this, and this is very important, guys, remember to always put the important things in the area where the players look at. Okay, so what happens is the next thing. If you are playing like this, you are not going to see the lights, all right? Imagine that we are trying to see that, okay? Most of the players are going to play like this, so it's very important to wherever they look, they can see the lights. If you I'm going to put by color, so it's going to be more clear, okay? Yellow means not good, red means completely lost, and green means okay, okay? So if you see this measure, a lot of players are going to play like this, so they are going to see like these 3-4 blocks, but they are going to miss part of this block, and they are going to miss completely the red part, okay? So even if the players are playing like this, if they are very close, they are going to lose that information, okay? So never put important information about this health. Always put the important information at the health of the eyes, and that's what I did here. So if you see, all the colors are going to be in the face of the player, and most of them are going to be on the yellow part, okay? So the player always will see the green lights, okay? That's very important. That's the only thing that you need to do for the player, okay? Also, if you want it, you can put the classic one that is a move that is right here, and when it says red light, it moves, and when it says green light, it keeps on the area, okay? You can do that also. Now, how we are going to start? As always, we are going to just be here in the middle, okay? And when you are here in the middle, what you're going to do is open right here, okay? Once more, you are going to catch the coordinates here, and we are going to do, as always, the map registration, okay? Once more, go to your map registration. You are going to put, remember you got already a 3 on here and a 4 on here, if I'm not wrong. Okay, you have like this. And this will be the 5th game that we are going to learn. So, once more, I remember that this was Full Frenzy, something like this. And here it says like Labyrinth, okay? Now for this one, we are going to do the same process that we always do. We are going to put the next number, that is going to be 5. We are going to put the minigame game name here, that is going to be green light. We are going to put the coordinates here, whatever coordinates you got in there. Remember, I'm just going to put random coordinates here, but I already have these here. Okay, green light, blue light, so I'm going to copy and paste those. Remember that are going to be different in your ends. For this, it doesn't matter where the players spawn or where the coins are going to spawn. So I'm just going to put the number 1 and the number 1, okay? And that's it. Of course, I just going to print it out because I already have it registered. And I'm going to comment out those because right down below I already got it, okay? Now that we got this, we are going to start with the first thing, okay? So we are just going to copy, as always, a metro room, and we are going to paste it, but we are going to rename it as a green light, okay? Once more, we also are going to go to MiniGames loop, and we are going to create 3 different triggers, okay? The first one is going to be completely new, and you are going to name it as a green light kill loop, okay? Then we are going to create another, and you are going to rename it as a green light red. And finally, we are going to create another, and it's going to be renamed as a green light green, okay? This is going to have 3 different triggers, and remember, those triggers are going to be in MiniGames loop, okay? Once we finish with that, we are going to move back to MiniGames, and in MiniGames, we are going to go to green light, okay? Once more, we are going to change the information, just put the same number that you put on here. Remember, if you register this is a 5, so you have to put a 5 on there. In my case, it's going to be 4, but yours is going to be very different, okay? Now that we got this, we are going to scroll down and we are going to execute the next script. So can jump, it needs to be whatever number you want, it doesn't matter. Speed, put a very low speed so the players are going to feel more tension. From 10, I put a number 4, okay? Can move needs to be true. Can use items needs to be true. Can attack needs to be false. Can be attacked needs to be true, and can be killed needs to be true. All the others are going to be false for this one, okay? Now for the instructions, I put avoid to move when the red light is on. That's it, okay? Now, what you are going to do, and very important, is that you need to remove everything and you need to put a wait, okay? Why did you need to put a wait? Because if you start all the rules right after you start the game, what is going to happen is that a lot of players are going to die. Remember, after the count, that we count 3, 2, 1, ready, go. it's when the game is going to start. So for doing this, just put a wait, okay, on here, timer, waiting time, and the waiting time is going to be 3 seconds, okay? And on here, right now, you got like on here, you need to put all the triggers on, okay, or the loop. So you need to select first the kill one, you need to turn it on, okay? As we are going to do a lot of triggers, so you need to copy and paste it once more. Okay, sorry, I copy and paste it actually. I didn't mean to. And you are going to put the second trigger that is going to be green light, green. And finally, you put the other one that is green light, actually in red, okay? Once you have all the 3 turned on, and remember this is going to be after 3 seconds here, you are going to operate a cooldown trigger. So just go to timer, run countdown timer, and the cooldown timer, it's going to be green light, okay? So you need to create a new cooldown timer. You are going to create a new variable and you're going to put the name of green light, okay? The countdown timer is going to be random number. Remember, for these kind of things that we have to wait, it's better to put random times, because if we put exactly every 5 seconds, players probably are going to notice that. So we want to surprise the players. How do you do this? Once more, just go to math, select random number, and put any number in between 1 second and 5 seconds. That means that we are going to have green light for 1 or 5 seconds. That's it. And the repeat timer as false, okay? All right. So once we got this, once we have this completely done, we can move to the other triggers, okay? So first, we are going to do the kill loop, and this is the most complicated one, and you are going to see why. Probably, and very important, guys, if you got in this trigger, the one that says MiniGames loop, you got anything like mark it like this, you need to unmark it, okay? Just remove the check mark. Remember, everything needs to be off here, okay? And what you are going to put on this one, when it says green light kit loop, you are going to add an first event. The event is going to be player, and player is moving, okay? This is going to detect when the player moves, actually, it's self-explanatory. And we are going to have a lot of conditions for this one. And this is very important, guys. Conditions needs to be the same. Once more, it's to have good results, okay? So we are going to add the first. The first is math, numerical comparison. And be sure that the minigame that is executed is equals to the minigame that you get in your end. So in my case, it's 4. In your case, is going to be the number 5. So remember, minigame needs to be equals to 4, okay? Now, we are going to add another one. The one is going to be on here in tools, is determine timer time. And determine timer time needs to be red light, okay? On here, you are going to create a new one. You are going to create the one that says green light, red light, sorry. And you put greater than 0. That means whenever the timer red light is activated, the player is going to be killed, okay? Now, more important, we are going to copy and paste this one, and we are going to edit the information. Instead of a red light, we are going to put minigame less than timer minigame start, okay? Very important. Guys, this is like the timer that takes the time to start. Remember, one is 4, the other is 43. So only when the game is played, this is going to work. Now we are going to add or check an attribute, okay? Or not the attribute, the word is the player, okay? So if we don't put this, the observers are going to die every time they move. So we need to choose determine player team. And in determine player team, we are going to select players in trigger event, and we are going to select team blue, okay? This is going to, no team blue, okay? Or you can do this. Yes, I'm team red, okay? This is only going to work for the team red, okay? And more important, we need to check that we are not going to kill more than once a player. So very important, if the player is already died or is already killed, we are not going to kill it again. So this is going to avoid a lot of errors. Let me show you. If I didn't put this, what is going to happen is that I'm probably going to die a lot of times, okay? So that's very important. Check this. If I'm here, as you see, I die like a lot of times. That's why I lose immediately, okay? So that is very important. How do we add this, okay? How we check if a player is already died? So just go to players here, player attribute. In player attribute, what we are going to check is the life, okay? So players in triggered attribute, and on here you need to select current HP, that is going to be the life. It's greater than 0. 0 means that the player is died. So if the player has more than 0 on life, we are going to execute this, okay? And very important, we are going to check if the player has a buff on it, okay? This is very important because when the player dies, he needs to have actually when the player reborns, the player is going to have like a shield on it. If the player doesn't have that shield, he can't be killed, okay? So you are going to choose player, and you are going to choose the one that says determine player status. You can find it right here. Once we got it, we are going to change player on triggers event, doesn't have, and on here you have those options, okay? So go to beneficial effect and you have two different ones, okay? We have Relieved Project and Full Life. You are going to select Relieved Relieved Protect. That is going to be the buff that is given to the player whenever the player reborns, okay? And that's it. That was like the most conditions. As you see, there is a lot of conditions for this one. And we are going to move to the actions, okay? What are going to be the actions that we are going to follow for this player? The first one is that we are going to just go here and add a sound, okay? Once more, you already know how to add those sounds. Go to player. In special effects, select play effect on players. And once we got this, I put this sound for the players. All right, so the sound is behavior 101 or 101, and everything else you can keep it like it is. Of course, you know already how to create random sounds from the previous class if you want to implement that from the previous minicamp, sorry. Now we are going to play a special effect. Remember, whenever you want to give feedback to a player, we are going to create a random effect, okay? So an effect and a sound. That's the basics because the player will see what's happening and also will hear what is happening, okay? Otherwise, players probably are not going to notice what is happening. So the sound effect is going to be, the special effect is going to be play effect on players, and the special effect, or in event position, really sorry for that, is not on players, is a special effect on position, okay? And the special effect on the position is going to be the light effect 35. Once more, you can find it right here in template library, light effect, and in my case is going to be 35, that is this one, so it's going to signal the player. You can choose whatever effect you want to give to the player. Now, after that, we are going to play another sound to the player, okay? The sound I play for the player, just remember, just like the same we did before, is this one. Now you can hear it, okay? And that is going to be the second sound that is going to just let the player know that he was killed. So it's going to be the first alarm, and then it's going to be the pew, or the shoot that the player is going to feel, okay? Now, the most important one from this one is that we are going to kill the player. To kill any player, just put player and defeat player. The player is going to be player in trigger event, as you see on here. And then we need to tell the player why he has been killed. Just choose player here, as you see on the screen. And after you choose this, you are going to move right here, and you are going to search for the one that says show text to the player. Okay, display text to the player. That's going to create a small text here that says, oh, you move, you get killed. Okay, and once more, show that effect and show any warning here. I put movement detected, and that's it. We got the first one. Now this is not working, and you are not going to find it works because this is only going to work when the red light is on. Okay. We are going to play it right after the minicamp. Okay. And now, guys, this is not going to work right now once more because we put on this one that the timer time that is going to be red light needs to be greater than 0. So we need to create those two. Remember that we already created phase for this one. So we are going to use the red light, okay? So the event is going to be very easy. As always, we are going to use designated timer change. That's going to be the first one that we always choose, guys. Okay, designated time is going to be the green light one. Okay, when the green light one changes, and very important, we are going to add once more here, right here, sorry. We are going to just move here, and we are going to select tools and determine timer time. And on that one, we can use green light equals to 0. Okay, very important. And once more, we are going to check which minigame. Remember that for doing that is just adding here math numerical comparison. And we are going to be sure that is the same number that you put on the register for the green light. In my case, is going to be 4. In yours is going to be 5. Okay, very important, guys. The number 5. And once we do that, we are going to add the next actions. First action, we are going to replace all the blocks in the arena, okay? So for this, once you put the different blocks, you put the green lamps here, you are going to create an arena that covers all the area, okay? My arena, you can find it right here. You see this line, but you need to do it manually. So how do you do it? As always, well, just choose this one. Be sure that you cover all the different items, including the health, as an example here. And be sure that you cover all the parts, okay? If you see, it's covering all the green lights that are around the area, okay? And rename it. Of course, I already have it created here. Mine is being called green light, but of course you are going to have to rename it from 0. I'm going to delete this one because I already got it right here, okay? So as you see, once we got this, once we got all the arenas covered, we are going to move back to your trigger, the one that says green light, and we are going to add block, replace block in an area, okay? And we are going to replace green lamp, okay? This one with green light, in green light with red lamp, okay? It's very easy, guys. On the first one, you choose the block that needs to be replaced. On the second one, you choose the region or the area where you are going to replace it. And finally, we got here the block that is going to be the new one. Once more, I just switching green glass lamp for the red lamp, okay? And that's it. Now, we are going to display some text for all the players, okay? So for displaying for all the players, you are not going to choose on here. You are going to choose on player group, and you are going to select a display floating text window for player group, okay? And you are going to choose on here all players, okay? Remember to choose all players, just go to function library, player group, and all players, okay? And you are going to put to the players in red, and this is going to be very important to stop, okay? Stop is going to tell all the players, okay, right here, just stop and don't move. Then we are going to do just the same, but in the chat, okay? In case a player missed that in the screen that just appears in his face, we are going to show that into the chat. How do you do that? Just add a new action. The action is going to be player group. Once more, we are going to select player group. Don't select this one, that is player, just player group. In this time, we are going to select display a chat info to the player group. Okay, Once more, on here, it's going to ask us where or which players. Select all players, just like you did with the previous one, and just put the text again, stop, okay? That is going to be the player stop. Now, this is very important. We are going to change the timer. For doing this, just go here to timers, and you have an option here that says change a minigame timer. Okay, it's right here. Okay, it's this one. Yes. So it's this one that says display timer panel. Okay, and when you got that one, oh no, okay, don't forget about that last action. What you are going to do is just to hit here, assign, and you are going to select the one that says set character string, okay? When we got this, we are going to select from the list below the one that says minigame name, okay? Very important, it needs to be right like I have it here. So just check the spelling, M in uppercase, N in uppercase, and everything else in lowercase and no spaces, okay? And then you are going to put the name, okay? This is going to be the name that you are going to see in the screen for this, and just put stop, okay? If the player didn't see the timer or the chat or the text that appears in his screen, it's because probably the player is completely blind. So most of the times that is not going to happen, but sometimes that can happen, okay? Now, we are going to add a new action. The action is going to be in players group. And I'm wrong. No, it's going to be here in a special sound. And there is an option here that allows us to play a sound for a player group, okay? So on here we have like different options, but we got one that says on player group, okay? This says on player, this is not the one, but this one is all the one I wanted. Okay, is this one the one that says player group? Very important, guys. Player group. This will allow us to play a sound in for all the players at the same time. Okay. On here you choose all players. The sound I choose is behavior 101. Once more, it's this one, just to advise the players. Okay. Now, on here, we already got this part. We are going to wait at least 1 second, okay? And this is very important, guys. Why we put a wait in here? Because we are going to activate the red light, okay? So the players are going to see the red light, but right after 1 second and 25 milliseconds, it's when the actual timer is going to work. And once more, this is completely necessary because if you don't wait a little bit after your red light changes, most of the multiplayer games, all the players are going to be killed immediately because, you know, there is a little bit of lag in between when the players stop their characters and when the servers detect that the players stop the characters. So just put the same number that I got here. Is once more, it's just right here. Timer, waiting time, and you are going to put 1.25 seconds. Very important, guys. And what we are going to do after that is just activate a red light. How do you do that? Just hit on here, add a new one, select timer, and run down or countdown timer. It's going to have the next information. You are going to put a red light timer. The countdown timer is going to be once more with mat random number, okay? And the actions for this one are going to be to generate any number in between 3 and 6 seconds, okay? So once more, repeat timer needs to be false. Once we got it, this one is almost the same. What you have to do is just copy this one and paste it and rename it as a green light, okay? Probably you already have one created, is just the same, but the information is going to be a little bit different, okay? So instead of having green light here, we are going to put red light on the top, okay? On the trigger. Now on the conditions, once more, we need to change to red light, okay? It's equals to 0. This is going to be the same, if you have a game registered as a number 5, you are going to put the number here. And on here, we are going to just do in backwards. So that means that this time we are going to change red lights for the green lights, okay? So in the previous one, in the other one, we were doing like backwards, okay? In this one, we are just inverting everything. Now for the text, just hit it and edit it and put move on or move. On the second one, you are going to change again to move. And I use a green color, that's very important. Now you are going to set the minigame name as a move. As you see, it's just the same triggers, just it changes. And now the sound is going to be different. As you see, it's all goes the same idea, but the sounds and the text are going to be different. This time, don't wait any second, just you have it like this. Okay. What you are going to do is just unmark that one. And this time you are going to operate green light as a random number. Once more, the same timing. You only need to change this for green light. And that's it. With this, your minigame is working, okay? But there is a huge mistake if you actually play the game like it is. After you select the first time green light, blue light, you are going to notice that in the other games, if the player moves, it's going to be killed. And that's actually the timer is still working, and it's still working even if you are not in this minimap. Once more, this is a big book with MiniWord. To resolve it, what you need to do is just, after you create everything here, you are just going to move to a brain. And in brain, you have those two actions. The one that says minigames loop off, that turns off automatically all the folder, and extra dynamics, that also turns off the extra dynamics off completely. What you need to do is the next thing. Just access here where it says minigames loop, and you are going to just do this. Select again here and select the exact same folder. That is going to refresh, and it's going to add all the new triggers to the trigger set in this part. Okay, so now it's going to work. It's not going to have that mistake. Do the same with extra dynamics. Select once more extra dynamics, and with this it's going to be resolved. So guys, right now we have like 5 minigames on our game. Okay, very important, guys. Right here you can start creating your own games. I already teach you the basics about how you can create minigames. Remember, you can add as much minigames as you wanted. There is a lot of chances, a lot of possibilities, a lot of different ways that you can create your minigames, and you can use your creativity to create those minigames. Okay, once more, another important thing, guys, if you want to add like another way to add points or lives or stars to the player, how do you do it? It's very simple. Just add any trigger. Okay, you can add whatever trigger you want. Let's use this one, and the action that you need to apply for creating your games is just on here, player, assign player settings. Okay, on here you choose your player, and in options you have one that says start. So you just add an star. You know, to add an star, just put math numerical comparison. Once more, you select function library, players, player attributes, and on here be sure you choose also stars, and you choose here to add how many stars you want it, as an example 1. Okay, just in case you want to find another way to add the stars that actually is not picking stars. Okay, and that's it. That's how it works. And now that we left some seconds and minutes, I'm going to teach you how you are going to do to submit your map. Okay,